Dear Dhamma friends, again we are going to start the question and answer session. As usual, we'll start with the written question. We'll invite Vincent to present written questions, please.
Venerable Bhante, in my walking meditation, I see my foot contact with earth from heel to toe in thin time slices. Within each time slice, I see the space between my foot and the earth being taken up and released as the contact disappears with the release of the foot from the heel to toe. I also see the free movement of the foot through the air until the cycle starts again. When I observe each time slice and the full foot movement in totality, I see less of the earth element and more of the free air space aspect to the foot movement. Please, can you provide guidance on this matter?
No, if it is the case that you have to just follow the evidence, the experience, don't expect when you thin slicing of the time, the earth element to increase or air element to increase. When you are observing something very closely, when compared at a distance, what you see is different. So don't challenge it. This is the way you can disturb the process. You have to just accept what is happening. And because you can refight, reconfirm it, next time when you do, the same will happen. So therefore, whenever something happening, don't divert your attention for your deductive thinking, rationalization, or argumenting. That's the worst thing, because your process will completely upset. So best thing is, let that finish it. Let the event take its own accord and finish it. And so you do double positive. You let the direct observation to happen and cut off the rationalization. Whenever something new happens, our mind come and intervene. That is what you call the deductive knowledge, inferential knowledge, or argumenting. And it appear like knowledge. It appear like inquiring mind. It appear like Dhammajiva or analysis, but it's utterly messing up the simplicity of the process. So, can't help. There's only one way, trial and error method way. Don't let the mind to interfere. That means give the priority to the direct touch rather than this analytical mind or inferential mind. And that is simple vipassana. That is the meditation. So that is what you have to do. What you have to do is simple doing nothing.
Venerable Bhante, in my sitting meditation, my mindfulness is firmly anchored as the stillness and emptiness. From that place, I watch like a spy waiting to catch the arising of the four elements within the body. This appears as body vibration, rising and falling of the breath, and rarely as a pain or pressure sensation around my knees. I watch each of these from arising to passing away from my place of stillness. Please, can you explain what you mean by watching the vijnana from within the space or emptiness?
So there is also the tincture is there, but the majority of the essay it says, when you are observing feeling as feelings, not adding the adjective pleasurable or painful, it is bearable. Whenever you add the adjective pleasurable feeling and painful feeling, then you get involved, then the tension happens, and it's unwanted, unasked for. This is the function of vijnana. And the other one is, you are spying for the arising objects, arising for element. That is the function of vijnana. Not necessarily spy, because you are in the space, and don't go for search. Don't go in search of anything. Be here, and if it is arising, it will arise. They arise only feelings, but you are the person at pleasurable and painful, then onward, it's a storytelling. Then you get fabrication. Then you keep on tensed. That's a stress. So if you can go to the deep root and see, but the necessity to put this adjective, no necessity. So that is the root cause. Wherever liking and disliking arises, you start tension, frustration, and stress. And our mind can't wait even split second without putting an adjective. Appear like an essential part of observation, not necessarily. And if possible, just observe like person with blind eyes. You're observing, not adding anything. Even though you have eyes, see like a blind person. Don't add. You appear that addition is simple, very honest, very light, very slight, very trivial. But the function, the damage it is doing, how far it is deep-rooted, unbelievable. Unbelievable. So therefore, doing nothing is a great task. Instead of for the addiction, for the habitual way or premeditated way, simply you add adjective. This is painful or pleasurable. Just observe the feeling as feeling. That's the most difficult thing. Because we are in the evolution and in the class struggle, as well as in one-upmanship, always we try to increase pleasure, the pleasure principle. So therefore, within a justifiable or injustifiable way, or in a Dhamma way or Adhamma way, you want to increase the pleasure. So therefore, to get the upper hand, always you have to put an adjective. Pain and pleasure, cut off pain, increase the pleasure. But if you look the thing as a feeling, there's no such a rush, there's no such a tension, there's no such a burning. So you can feeling as feeling, and so rises as feeling, disappear as feeling. In the middle only, that's also very important. In the middle only you can put adjective. That means you are too delayed to see the beginning. And you are lazy to see the end. The labeling possible only in the mid of the bell-shaped curve. That's a little sticky. That's the place the kilesas can come. So you must be delayed not to see the beginning. And you must be lazy guy not to see the end. Then only labeling possible. So therefore you have to do away with labeling one thing and see the beginning of the feeling. When it's arising, never arises with a label. No any necessity. So try to go to the source as much as possible. Then it is mechanically possible. To the way the vijnana work is, don't accept my words, it's also vijnana. Don't take it as a omnipotent, omnipresent answer. No. I just give tools and little bit of analysis, and you have to find your own ways. When the vijnana come and take the upper hand, from the simple unity, divide and rule. Divide, this is pleasurable, this is painful, and then onward fighting start. So don't divide. Just give the common character rather than individual characters. So when you go to the common characters, nothing to grab hold to the lion's share, because everything is totality. Then no tension, no frustration, there is no necessity of a vijnana. Vijnana become minister without a portfolio. It's just wait. There's no ministry. There's an honorary post. No, without a portfolio. It's always poking fingers, that minister, this minister. This is something happening in Sri Lanka. So much of ministries are there. If it is not necessary, we will put minister without a portfolio. Still he has the cabinet facilities and all the more than facilities. And what to do? Either satisfy the minister, the prime minister, or the president. So they do something. Whatever they do is hindering the national growth. That's exactly the vijnana.
Venerable Bhante, today at sitting meditation I was able to enter the deep dark space as well as the infinite space alternatively. at my wish in one sitting. I look forward for further guidance from you. Thero.
So maximize it, multiply it, cultivate it, meditate upon it, familiarize it, master it. Don't ask any guidance, just repetitively apply, then naturally you become seasoned.
Dear Bhante, this is my meditation report. First, the walking. I try to walk naturally and when I remember mindfully. Sometimes the landing of the foot on the solid ground is prominent. At other times, the motion of the feet. I can also feel the vibration inside the foot as it lands. During one session, I saw the large gap between the motion of one foot with the other. And yesterday I did metta while walking, which I found beneficial. The sitting. I try to sit mindfully. When I remember, I try to start by being mindful I am sitting, or the posture, or the touch of the body on the cushions and the floor. Bodily sensations arise usually in the legs and they are sharp in nature, but I have started seeing through them. The body also sways, and on a few occasions a high-pitched noise came through this swaying. This noise is there most of the time. Sometimes the breath becomes prominent, felt as hot, cold, or neutral. Sometimes I can also see rapid movements inside the mind. On a previous sitting, the out-breath became subtle and broke up into tiny electrical-like pulses. Once previous sitting, I could also see the mind arriving at the place where the physical sensation was about to rise. Bhante, should I make an effort to observe in terms of the four elements during walking and sitting with metta and thanks?
Your objective must be what is the prominent thing. Don't go in search of something. Theoretically, you know what is prominent. Other things are in the background. But don't go in search of that. Means you are become eccentric. Your approach is not healthy. Approach is not balanced. That is the function of vijnana distorting. Always try to be one-upmanship. Always try to be smart, to do something. Everything it can do is mess up. So therefore ask the vijnana to go and wait and sit. Let the thing happen. So this is the difficult part. This is what you call vipassana. This is the deep word meaning of vipassana. See through or choiceless awareness or even the suspended attention, and there you can see the mind come and give so much of proposals, opinions, and try to be smart, do metta, do this, do dhatu manasikara, and when you are going to give instructions also, this bad thing can happen. The beginner may get a wrong idea, the dhatu manasikara is better than this, and this is this and that. Anything, appearing thing is the best. Anything you monitor, regimen, is kilesas. That is defilement. That's a distortion. So that definitely going to give a frustration. So arising to the cause and effect is the deepest Dhamma. Never give any frustration. Even that frustration happen, it is due to your past karma or something. But this is new karma you are creating and unwanted complication. So therefore, your utmost must be to restrain, withdraw. Even it happening, don't curse yourself. Sympathize. And see how difficult. That is why vipassana is difficult, because our vannapunchi, crafty nature, and observing it is the biggest punishment to the, in a sense, to the mind. That is what the restraint means. You are restraining without committing.
Bhante, today in my breathing meditation, after some time I felt like I was being drugged and my mind was floating. I was still mindful of what was happening, but thought I was going to lose my mind or faint. I decided to continue with the meditation to see what will happen. I remained in this state with my mind like floating until the end of the session. After the session, I felt very tired and my mind settled to its normal state to my relief. Bhante, could you please explain why my mind went to this drugged-like state and if it is expected? Thank you, Bhante.
So this the maximum effort, that the maximum achievement of the yogi, don't give any basement, don't give any foundation for the vijnana. It is called appatitita vijnana. Then vijnana can't play rackets. Then vijnana can't do regimentation. Whenever it gets established, never leave your calm. Always rackets, always fabrication, always storytelling, messing up. So the Buddha says in Dutiya Chetana Sutta, Patama Chetana Sutta, make your mind not to give any foundation for vijnana. That's not apatitita vijnana. The Dutiya Chetana Sutta says yancha te cheteti, yancha pakappeti, yancha anuseti, aramana metang hoti vijnanasa titya. Patitite vijnani punaravakanti, punabhavang akanti. Whenever mind, the vijnana can't find a solid object, or household affairs, or aranya affairs, or body-related affairs, it brings future plan. It brings intentions. Volitions as its own base. Or otherwise, underlying tendency. These are the last three resorts for the vijnana. So you must go prepared. Don't have any chetana. No volition. No future planning. Don't allow. And when and where your personality traits, your likings and disliking or karmic habits happen, just disclaim they are not me, not mine, not myself, so that you are not facilitating vijnana to get established. Moment get established, rackets, fabrication, storytelling, and regimenting, eccentric. So therefore you feel giddy, you feel hazy, you feel body is moving, because so far in the samsara, you are given fertilizer, you are giving food for vijnana to get established, thinking that vijnana will work for your well-being. The Buddha says never. It is using you as a propagating machine for proliferation for the second generation. Vijnana, that's all you are being used. Your machine is used to propagate and for the security. And that is how the fighting each other happens. So when the vijnana is not working but not killed, then you can see humanity. You can see all are the same. Then there is no one-upmanship. There is no cutthroatism. There is no killing each other. There is no necessity for survival of the fittest. Survival of the fittest is must in the reproduction. So therefore animals you can see. They don't know mother, father, they don't know sister, brother, because their productive nature, reproduction is the main thing. Human also, whenever they do not know the tricky magic nature of the vijnana, they are also just like beasts. Openly or in a hidden way, their tendency for reproduction and for the security is the matter, whether it is justifiable or not. So that is why it says, vijnana cannot assure moral. It is not a moralistic one. Vijnana is opportunists. So therefore, observe yourself how much you are giving chances for the vijnana to take the upper hand, and then onward vijnana is make yourself eccentric, taken you like a bull, put with the nose hinge, wherever it pull you goes. So when and where it is working, only you can do when and where the body is not working, when and where the word is not working, and the mind also somewhat disciplined with single object. And the object also now going into pieces. Then you can see Vijnana coming out with that proposals and creativity, this and that. And if you know the art, not to fertilize it, not to feed it, then you can see how the body is reacting. All the nauseatic kind of feelings happen, wavering, sweating, and allergic reactions like happening. So you don't know what to take, whether to fertilize Vijnana or to become steady, or just to sacrifice the bodily, these, all the kind of thing, and see the magic of the mind. So you see how much tricky it is. Even though you are very successful in the meditation, still there is a test. There's a hurdle. You have to jump this hurdle, and it's completely, you have to depend on your own ways and means. There are no clues. Don't copy others, then you're utter failure. You have to assimilate your own ways and means, knowing, don't fertilize Vijnana. And that is, in the same token, don't fork fingers into the other psychologists. You have no rights. You don't know your Vijnana also. Whatever you do, you can do is mess up. Easily you can mess up. Just like anything you put into your eye. Except water, anything is irritation. So therefore, mind your own business, be mindful. And it is not a punishment. It's a way not to do future new karmic forces. Whatever you do becomes sankhara. Sankhara is karma. So all restraint must be, now I have brought the situation to the bare minimum or least amount. Now let this stream of consciousness not commit into new karma or new volitional activities, willful activities, determinations, just suspended decision. Suspended attention, that is what you call biggest training. And the Buddha says, sankhara parama dukkha. Anything you do is leading to suffering. Reduce the amount of sankhara. All the dukkha is within the cage of sankhara. If you know how to not to commit, then you can see some other past karma come and give punishment. Easily happily you can withstand it. It's like a loan. You are paying back the loan. But no karma is happening. And when it is happening, you feel the purity. You feel the subtlest way of restraint. Not the physical restraint, not the verbal restraint. And you see that also can do only under that given circumstances. Whenever the meditation is perfect. And even then if you are committing new karma, your benefits of your meditation may not be validated. Integrity be validated, don't commit. Just patience or indifference or unwavering mind, not to taken away, carried away by the vicissitudes of the world, that's the biggest tapasa or biggest asceticism. So it's ever challenge. It's never a simple task for any single person on the earth, so it's a very beautiful thing.
Venerable Sir, my arranged time for the retreat has come to the end. I am leaving the retreat today after the Kammatahan. I have gained much experience and knowledge, hoping to improve my mindfulness. I am much obliged and grateful to you and others for your guidance and teachings. The question I have is related to 848 Noble Path. I was told that 8 Noble Path can be divided into 3 dimensions. Is it correct? If so, could you kindly explain it? Metta to Venerable Sir and all.
Bye-bye. Very happy anyone leaving. Reduce reduction of the nuisance. Any addition means a nuisance. So living so only without second person is the best. So leaving, tata, bye-bye. For any person. So Noble Eightfold Path also come under the 3 restrainment. So these not dimensions, these are starting also from the 3 restrainment. Noble Eightfold Path also come under the 3 restrainments.
Bhante, I got about 3 questions. When I look at the earth element, as I told you, I saw the bubbles and the small tiny parts, and I explore into the air part as well. As you explained in yesterday's talk, that I feel really I like to explore the air part rather than the earth element, that the solid one. And you said that the vijnana plays behind that lightness, the Moffat is kind of thing. But when you realize that, yeah, I like to see the air part rather than the, how should we kind of, this is the vijnana, how should we kind of, what should we do? Are we thinking, what is the reason, or that part, I mean, if you think, what is the reason behind it, kind of, I feel like because I like to explore the AR part, because the craving or the hatred, or what should I do in there?
Who is talking, your vijnana or you?
Sense me.
So who am I? The whole gamut is fabrication is vijnana. And you think this is my question. This is my life. So any dirty thing Kanjana doing, you sign underneath the father's cage. And whole account is on you. You don't know how to disclaim. This is the way vijnana is working. Just do all the dirty thing, and at last it will debate into your account, and you, without any hesitation, take everything and take whole upon your shoulder, crying, and you are crying for someone's baby. You see that still, as far as the analysis is concerned, the first you mentioned, when I look at the earth element, that is wrong. Don't look at anything, let that come and show you. First thing. Whenever you look, that's a partial. Meditation is let the natural phenomena to happen. Don't go look into something. The first thing. Second thing, when and where going to pieces without falling apart, you search, go in search of space. The second search. And both of them are artificial. And out of that you see, air element or space is I like more than the earth element. It is not you. Have you any intention to be searching that and liking for this and like this? So why do you claim this as me? This is the point you must know. Disclaimer. This is naturally happening. That's what you call habit. Not only drug addicted, not only alcoholic, not only workaholic. Each and every person is addicted. And this is the point, it is happening. But it happened like your weakness. No, it is not your weakness, it's the skillfulness of Buddha, the skillfulness of Dhamma. So don't claim. You see, the liking happens, just like earth element happens, just like air element happens. When the liking happens, understand it's unasked for. Just like adding an adjective to the feelings, it's a pleasurable feeling, painful feeling is a feeling. And if you know how to stop at that level, no more volitional activities, no more fabrications, no more storytelling. And you can't stop it because you now engage. Because you look into earth element, you look into air element, and then the liking and dislike happen, you claim it as mine. See how much commitments. These things happen so far, never give any stress to you. Now it's happening in the thin slicing of time, and now it is become a source of stress, source of question, uncertainty. You see how difficult to penetrate the truth. When the truth is revealing, we become partial. We take one side or this side. That is of our rational thinking. Truth has no partiality. It's impartial. That's what you call evenly suspended attention, suspended decision. Yes, it is unwanted. It says, I like Akash and Patavi. Why should you second it? Why should you take it as me? That's the way Vijnana is working. So that's the magic of the mind. So when you understand it, the simple question is, normal day-to-day life, in our ignorance, these things are happening, we don't know. Now we know. Which one is better, unknown ignorance or the revealing that inquiring mind? Which one you prefer? If it is second, why is it a question? Cannot be. Knowledge never creates a question. Knowledge is an endowment. It's a gift. We don't know how to handle it. Whenever knowledge happens, it becomes a burden. We become uncertain. We become fearful because the knowledge is such an unknown thing to us. So whenever we go there, we challenge the knowledge. So therefore knowledge is stopping. Our rational mind, known area, is always creating problems. We feel at home. So what the kind of outlook you must have when you are exploring into the new areas? Non-judgmental. Choicelessness. Otherwise, always you are carried away. It's like a tsunami. It's like a tornado. It's already gathered momentum. You can't escape. Only thing is you have to go prepared. When the mind go into this falling apart, breaking, going to pieces without falling apart, you have to be thoroughly established in mindfulness. Understand now the Vijnana is playing its dirtiest tricks. So let it play, no problem, because then you can understand the ways and means the Vijnana is working. Without you understand who the hell can help you. The Buddha says, Janato bhikkhave passato asavanam khayam vadam. If you know it, you know how to escape. If you misunderstand, that's the biggest mistake. Even if it is revealing. So no second person. So face it again and knowing when it is going to the pieces without falling apart, to understand how mindfulness is exactly there. Don't have liking and dislike. Even liking and disliking happens, don't claim or disclaim or disavow. And for that, no other tool than go prepared. If you have that go preparedness, you are already in Nibbana. That's what you call, you are ready for anything to happen. So no one can challenge you. You are ready. Anything happen is something to happen. Why should I question? Why should I worry? If I am believing on the omnipotent, omnipresent God, then we can find for it. But if you are believing the Buddha, there is no source. So this is your ignorance. Now you are more and more closer to the ignorance, but you feel so tensed. You feel so goosebumps. You feel nauseatic. We have so much of fear for the truth. That's called fear of Nibbana or fear of unknown. And we search Nibbana in the universities or in the books or in rational thinking. Yeah. So therefore, consider this as an advancement, but you don't know how to facilitate it. Whatever you have done is done wrong. But it is also a relationship. Anything you do, ego comes. Anything you do, conceit happens. Anything you do, desire happens. So how much you can restrain. That is the maximum thing you can do for the advancement of the mind. Because mind is now in the momentum, acceleration. So your involvement or your recognition with it, assuming with it, reaction with it, even though it happens habitually, very, very sensitive. And in the meditation, if it is happening, whenever we are unmindful, imagine the amount of kilesas we are accumulating. We feel very innocent, we are doing nothing. But the count is, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 43 44 45 46 47 48 49 50 51 52 53 54 55 56 57 58 59 60 61 62 63 64 65 66 67 68 69 70 71 72 73 74 75 76 77 78 79 80 81 82 83 84 85 86 87 88 89 90 91 92 93 94 95 96 97 98 99 100 101 102 103 104 105 106 107 108 109 110 111 112 113 114 115 116 117 118 119 120 121 122 123 124 125 126 127 128 129 130 131 132 133 134 135 136 137 138 139 140 141 142 143 144 145 146 147 148 149 150 151 152 153 154 155 156 1 So much accumulated. When the thing happens, you ask, who the hell did it? Why? What an unfair thing? Why this bad thing are happening to me? Because I am so innocent. I am so lovable person. How can happen? You see, when you are stitching in the finger sewing machine, you see only the needle, but underneath the bin. Each and every time it goes, it hooked. How can one needle make such a hook? We don't know underneath. So therefore, question is, when it is happening, when this kind of happening, the question must be, or question to rephrase, what is my duty? How should I facilitate it? Then you have to understand how much you have messed it up so far. You go in search of earth element, you go in search of air element or space, and you claim, I like this and it is like that, even without you have that kind of a premeditated idea. So these are the points you lose your marks. And next time, let it happen again. Don't go in search of earth element. Let elements to arise. Whatever element arising is exactly the same formula like earth element. So that's why whenever I give an example, you get caught up with the example. You don't know what is the exemplified. You caught up with the example. So that is why whenever going to give jhana, you claim that I am in jhana. Because Bhante told jhana. So much of sticky to boost up your ego, to conceive. But while it is happening, no problem, because we are open, we are in the operation. But imagine when we are looking with the other ignorant people outside, how much they are facilitating us, how much in return we get their ignorance, and to boost up our ego, ultimately we have to pay the cost. So therefore, be isolated as much as possible, then commitments are less. But the thing is, you feel lonely. So therefore, you feel like a poor person. You are rich, you are social, standing on ceremonies, then the amount, tons of defilements you are collecting, you don't know. So that is one part of, beautiful part in the thin slicing of time. But if you are not going with the prepared mind, easy way to crack, go mad. Shortcut to the asylum. Meditation is the shortest cut to the asylum if you don't have this, the security background. So therefore don't invite anyone to meditate. It's a very dangerous thing. Just not like inviting for a chocolate party or Indiappam party. This is dangerous. This is very involved thing. You have to follow. You have to guide up to the last minute, because up to the last minute the danger is there. More questions?
Sorry, there are a few observations in my walking meditation and Anapanasati. Once I realized the breath came and hit the nostrils, and that the solid part will arise. But if I reverse it and see, it won't arise. Kind of, what should I say?
Not well presented. Your data not well presented. You have to rephrase and tell again.
The solid element only arise if it hits the other element. Kind of. Say for example, what happened? The air element came and hit the nostril. Then only I realized that the solid element arises. But if it hasn't, only the air element is the kind of person is clear.
They are reciprocal each other. Without one, other can't be. So they are working together, like two electrodes come and spark happens. So two have to come together. Thesis, antithesis and synthesis. It's a everlasting theory. Even Karl Marx told the same, Buddha mentioned the same, Isaac Newton mentioned the same. Two come together and Newton happened. Base element, strike element and ignition element. Without base element, strike element can't do. Without strike element, base element can't do something. Whenever they come, ignition happens. So at a given time, you can't see the three. You have to see 3 different times and put into the proper theory with your past memories. All the 3 cannot happen in the single moment. 3 moments. And therefore, one person can't see 3 simultaneously. You are seeing different occasions. And then you put together with your theory knowledge. So therefore, that very understanding at that very moment is utterly electric, utterly coincidence. And then the scientists, they went on, they told if the consciousness is not there, everything invalid, they say. Your consciousness is the one, verify or justify this event. If you are when breathing, if you are not mindful, and if you are listening, these things are invalid. So whenever you have to be attentive, you must be noting exactly there, that attention, that the mindfulness is the validating factor. And imagine to express the same to another person, communication factor, it never happen on the earth. Never, because we are other directed all the time. We are eccentric. We are not totally looking at one thing. If you are to make sure to totality, the before thought moment and after thought moment also parallel. Otherwise you can't verify this. If the early thought moment you are not mindful, and soon after if you are not mindful, your memory is not clear. So before and after must be there. So that's a consistency. And you must have theory knowledge. Exactly when this happening, theory knowledge come and support you. And then expressing to the other person is a completely different thing. So if that is happening, whenever you are not there, whenever your element come into the earth element, knowledge happens, the knowing, and the consciousness must be there. Not necessarily to have an ego. Not necessarily to have a conceit. It's a desire is not asked for. They are byproducts. They are rather not the simple byproduct, they are cancers in this product. So therefore don't worry about it. Even if the conceit happens, don't worry, because this is not the main product. This is not what you thought. So keep the attention as much as on the crispy, on the spot what is happening. Then there is no chances for the egotistic to grow. Or conceit to grow. Then they have become null and void. Desire to grow. But your knowledge increases. Your communication increases. Your verification of the Buddha's knowledge is increasing. So that is what we call the yogi. They are not worried about this byproduct or sundry items, main product. No one talk on this. Or listen to radio for whole day. Listen to the television whole day. Will they talk on this kind of something under your very nose, practical thing? Never. It's what you call the media. So therefore, whenever it is happening, that means the things are aligned, things are in proper order. Your main task must be to let it happen again and again, to refine it, to reconfirm it. And then you are the person going to get the confidence. That is what you call Saddha. With the half knowledge, how can you analyze someone else? Never. So therefore, you have to, whenever it is happening, give the facilities, give the causative factors to happen again and again, and see whether there is reification of the same, reconfirmation of the same. That's called anupassana. Anupassana, according to the same things that happening or not, it's beyond your control. But the Buddha has given certain amount of assurance. The Anupassana is Vipassana. Same thing, because you have once it happens, so there may be a chance for you to happen again, a chance. Take the opportunity of the chance, give the maximum facilities, and then repetitive application. For that we have all the facilities, all the amenities. So therefore we must feel lucky, we must feel confidence to continue.
Venerable Bhante, I have a question about the body vibration I was talking about yesterday and today. I keep experiencing that in every single sitting, meditation, and as well as even if I'm lying down, I feel these tingling sensations in my body. Different, it comes in different parts. I cannot say it's in a specific place.
So what to do? It's a question.
That's what I wanted to ask you. What
ask
should
what?
I do? Just
kill yourself. When there is nobody, no problem. Body means a vibration, yes. So do you think it's a result of mindfulness or disturbance for mindfulness?
Part of me, 90% of me is saying this is because of my mindfulness, but because of I'm thinking more and more the vijnana side playing tricks on me, and I'm thinking, is this some trick that's distracting me? Because it's a physical, I am moving, my body.
Okay, leave aside 10%. 90%, when did you earn it? How came that 90% into your line of thinking?
In my sitting meditation, I'm watching the breath, and then I see the complete cessation.
Can you remember 50%, 40%, 30%, 10%, 0% before meditation?
Before meditation, I didn't have this.
You can't?
So
no, I am telling that 90%. Forget about the 10%. And can you remember when it was 80, when it's 70, and it was a gradual process, isn't it? So go back to the zero. No mindfulness, no attention to the body, and you are in the carnival, go show, no problem. So that means that now you are with 90% of problem, or 90% of the answer. Who gave this 90%? The skill for the 90%, where does that come into your stream of consciousness, your way of thinking?
Through my efforts.
Yes. So even if it is doing good, the 10% is killing you. Now we are asking due to the 10%. You never ask any question for the 90%.
But Bhante, it's all I can say is it feels you feel that you're super sensitive to everything.
Yeah, so it is, you ask for, you manage, you're skillful, and this is your baby. But what I am going to make is, even 10% enough for our consciousness to make full of stress, full of tension, full of frustration. So therefore this frustration is utter lie. You can just forget about, but you can't forget if it is 100%. When it is 10%, you can say, mindful, the vijnana knows, make yourself stress. Even for slight little thing. It is a concept, it is not reality. It's a concept. Even then vijnana make you are tortured, you are burning, you are hacked. 90% happiness vijnana never concerned about that. It's a hard earn. So this is how it is working. Therefore, disclaimer, or otherwise, you have to understand you can never go to 100%. That's why from the beginning I told, don't think absolute. And if it is reducing, it's also due to your effort. Appreciate it. When you are appreciating, no chance for doubts. When you say appreciate, there is no chance for fear. When you appreciate, no uncertainty. So you are boosting uncertainty by meddling it. So don't talk. Don't worry. You are talking, thinking one day I can go to 100%. So therefore talk what is positive. Talk what you gain. Talk what is something productive. Anything you talk about other thing, it appears like very smart. It appears like very prolific. When that is what you call ignorance. The Buddha mentioned, I never talk on that kind of, not that he is not having. Get the point? That's what the Buddha. He never talk about that, but the people are talking all failures, uncontrollable situation, that is their whole life, so full of tension. So therefore, if you are talking, talk something positive. Talk something productive. Talk something pleasurable for other people. It's something, what you call, aesthetic part of our life. You must know only the love spots. Don't look at the dark cloud, just see the silver light. Then you are enlightened. But otherwise, the 10% enough for you to pull back to the earth, make you miserable, make you torturing. That is your will. So therefore, don't talk everything. It is not asked for. Talk about what is relevant. If something asks, you can, of course, you can tell. Otherwise, talk about the already you gain. You know, definitely it's through trial and error. And 90% is, so for me, 30 marks is quite enough. Because on 33, you get pass marks. 3 marks, the examiner has to give it to me, then I become pass. I am more than happy. I am never go for credit and dictation. You bloody fellows, not happy even with the dictation, going to go for 100%. What a fool in this game. And so smart. I never asked the pass, I asked pa. That's enough. Pa. I easily satiable. I never, that whenever thing happen, okay, enough, that's enough. You go for 99% and you kill yourself, cutthroatism for the 1%. I feel everywhere in the world there. Insatiable. Understand? Your foolishness won't allow. Won't. You people are so self-torturing, so tormenting. I feel it. Sometimes with sympathy. And sometimes I feel hilarious how people are self-torturing. How much they are happy. And that indicates they are happy, others self-torturing also. The same token, even if you are going to withdraw, I will fight it. See only the positive side. That is what you call metta bhavana. See only the love spot. Subha paramaham bhikkhave metta ceto vimutti vadami uttaring appati vijjantassa ida panyata puggalo. Only see the love spots. The Buddha says, till you become arahant, if you are about to see the bad side, it's a very cumulative bad habit. And that is what you call human culture. Finding fault with others. So body means vibration. Now only you know it. So you have to hate your knowledge, otherwise, now you can't stop it. Even if you ask me, if you pay respect to the Buddha, says, Bhante, please remove this from my computer, that software. Once mindfulness sets in, never. So don't teach someone mindfulness, it's a hell. You can't withdraw. When Jnanaponika says it, never take the chair. Once taken the chair, it will never climb down. So you have to put up with, just like a marriage.
That was what I wanted to get to. This is never going to stop, is it?
Never. And the day you appreciate 90%, true. Don't talk about the 10%. Then who is going to come and threat you, challenge you? Your ignorance only. That 90% is more than enough. For me, a person like me, 30 enough, not even 33. Even 30 enough, the examiner definitely will out of sympathy 3 marks. And then I will get just pass. I'll come and hilariously say, a fool like me could pass. Other people come and say, I am sorry, I didn't get the second lower, I didn't get the second upper, I didn't get the first class. So I look at and laugh at that kind of it's a laughing stock. In the university, it's all are conceited people. Full. I am just a bumpkin. Just look at others and see how much they are. One person went is studying. Morning to evening, exam is closer. Has gone and sit on the sink, the commode, and the key has fallen into the commode. And he comes and says, now I can't give the book also because wastage of time, how to take it. Laughing. They can't sleep. Nothing because the exam is close by. So that's the time I got the push bike to train and I learning push bike. How to ride a push bike. Amma is telling, please don't you break your neck because you have to go to the exam. It's drawing party. So you people unsatiable. That is why the consumerization. That's why this luxury, that's why these multi-companies are so successful. They can't play game with me. Okay, that's enough. 30 minutes more. If there are no questions, I would like to suggest, take 1 hour from here. We will sit at 4 o'clock rather than 4:30. And then we have another 1 hour before the next sitting also. Now 3 o'clock. We'll have 1 hour tea break and walking. And come and sit at 4 o'clock. 4 to 5 sitting. And 5 to 6 we have 1 hour walking. And it will be even distribution. Organization is approving. Okay. Thank you very much for the participation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.